Imagine taking a human being from 10,000 years ago and dropping them directly into a modern city. Endless traffic, glowing billboards, constant noise. Our physical surroundings have changed faster than our biology could ever adapt. The human brain experiencing this noise is the exact organ that evolved in quiet, predictable forests. This chart shows global anxiety disorders over the past 3 decades. Across 204 regions, we see a 55% spike between 1990 and 2019. We are living in the safest, most materially comfortable era in human history, yet our internal sense of safety is collapsing. This discrepancy is what researchers call an evolutionary mismatch. We built a civilization optimized for speed and productivity, but our nervous systems operate on a timeline that takes hundreds of thousands of years to align with new environments. Deep inside that ancient nervous system is the amygdala. Its original job was straightforward: keep you alive. If a predator rustled in the tall grass, this primitive alarm system instantly flooded the body with cortisol and adrenaline, triggering a fight or flight response to survive the immediate physical danger. Today, the rustle in the grass is an urgent email, a sudden dip in savings account, or a hostile argument online. Neurologically, your brain cannot tell the difference. It prepares your muscles for battle and pumps out stress hormones, even though there is nowhere to run and absolutely nothing to physically fight. Modern anxiety is the result of a biological survival system responding exactly as designed, but trapped in chronic hypervigilance by an environment it was never meant to inhabit. For the vast majority of human history, a person only possessed awareness of localized events within their immediate village. Now, we carry access to the entire globe's collective trauma, economic instability, and structural conflicts in our pockets 24 hours a day. The human mind was never structurally designed to process the concentrated suffering of 8 billion people simultaneously. This constant exposure to worldwide crises can strip away a foundational psychological sense of safety. Media platforms understand this digital vulnerability well. They exploit our natural negativity bias, our instinct to pay attention to danger, to keep us engaged. Consuming this endless stream of negative news, a habit known as doom scrolling, correlates strongly with elevated stress levels. This flowchart shows the attention economy. A notification triggers curiosity and dopamine, creating a compulsory engagement loop. Algorithms then inject aspirational content, forcing users to benchmark their messy realities against the heavily edited highlight reels of millions of strangers. Psychologists call this phenomenon upward social comparison. Constantly seeing others who appear richer, smarter, and happier recalibrates our internal definition of enough. The baseline for satisfaction keeps moving further out of reach. When personal value becomes tied to external metrics like views, likes, and algorithmic validation, authentic self-esteem becomes increasingly fragile, often giving way to a persistent fear of falling short. And the spaces where the mind used to recover from this stress have disappeared. Waiting in line or riding a bus now means consuming another information stream. The brain is denied the empty moments of silence required to process emotion and reset. The digital ecosystem is engineered to encourage persistent feelings of inadequacy. An anxious, constantly comparing user is an engaged, profitable user. Beyond the screen, the physical and economic structures of contemporary life exert their own distinct pressures on the nervous system. Consider something as simple as walking into a supermarket. You are confronted with thousands of options. Every single purchase requires a decision. This unlimited daily choice induces decision fatigue, increasing stress and often paralyzing action through the fear of making the wrong choice. This pressure compounds in the labor market. Modern workers are expected to be permanently adaptable inside an economy that reinvents itself every few years, a pressure heavily magnified by the rapid emergence of artificial intelligence. Ancient humans faced severe danger, but their social roles and seasons were largely predictable. Today, individuals live in a state of systemic uncertainty, something the human brain was never designed to process indefinitely. This mental exhaustion is physically compounded by an always-on culture. Artificial lighting and screen blue light extend the day far past natural sunset, interfering with the body's internal clock and eroding restorative sleep. Chronic sleep deprivation reduces the brain's capacity for emotional regulation. Without proper rest, the amygdala becomes highly reactive. A lack of sleep forces the brain to interpret ordinary daily problems as immediate physical emergencies. At the same time, we face a silent epidemic of isolation. Over half of adults report experiencing loneliness regularly. We are more digitally connected than ever, yet physically separated, creating chronic isolation that carries a mortality risk comparable to smoking 15 cigarettes a day. The architecture of modern life systematically strips away human history's most effective biological shields against stress: a tight-knit community, a predictable certainty, and restorative sleep. This leaves the modern individual overwhelmed by the very anxiety society produces. Understanding this mismatch is critical. Chronic anxiety is the rational consequence of living in an environment entirely hostile to our biological design. Because evolutionary biology requires hundreds of thousands of years to catch up to our modern reality, we cannot wait for our brains to adapt. We have to intentionally redesign the personal environments we still control. That requires actively building boundaries, introducing friction into our digital habits, protecting our sleep schedules, and opting out of the algorithmic comparison trap by spending more time in physical communities. We measure societal progress through speed, maximum productivity, and capital growth, but these metrics ignore the actual requirements of the human nervous system. The ultimate measure of our advancement is whether the human mind can still find silence and peace within the world we've built.